It's July 17th. We're doing our Tuesday night tube guitar amplifier webinar session. And the first item in the queue tonight was sent in by Rick. Rick has the vintage place over there in California. He says, how about add a reverb kit for a Tweed 5E3? Now, we talked about this before because we have the kit that Ulrich had designed, and this is the board for it. It comes with a board and it's all silk screened, and all you do is look at the board, and then there's a bill of materials that you can identify what parts are what, Q1, Q2, blah, blah, blah. And it's paint by the numbers. You fill it in. And when you finish, the board is populated. And let's see here if I can find the pictures for it. Here's one of them. This is a picture of the unit after it is installed. Now, it comes with a power supply. The little white box here, let me get my pointer out. This little box here, that's the power supply. Now, you can mount it anywhere. He just mounted it. This customer just mounted it on the back side of the chassis, since a 5E3 does not have a cap pan, so there's plenty of space. And then he mounted the board, and you can see he put these little nylon standoffs. He just popped them into the chassis, drilled a couple of holes, and popped it right in. And here's your RCA jacks that go to your reverb pan. And then there's a couple of hookups. You got your DC power hooking up to the board here. See, here's your DC supply, and it hooks up to the board there. You've got your in and an out, which is, I believe it's, I don't know if it's there, or it's one of these here. And then you got your reverb pan, which is here. And I don't know for sure what this is here. This is high voltage and ground, because some of these transistors are those transistors that act like a 12X7, and they're like, LND
150.
Yeah, it's a 300 volt deal. You hook it up like a 12X7. So anyway, that's the way it's all hooked up. And then when it's all done, I mean, this is the circuit right here. And it's got some little options on the board. These right here are not normally used if you're using it on a Tweed Deluxe, but if you're using it with other amps where there's no capacitor on the input, then you go ahead and add these components in there so that you can block DC. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward. So you hook up your 24 volt supply here, which we showed you, and you got your input here and the output over here, or here, depending on which one you're going to be using. So that's pretty much it, and that's how it's done. The thing that's nice about this kit is everything's been worked out for you. You don't have to think about anything. You just stuff the components in the board. You would use a wire across here if you're using it for a 5E3, because that goes directly to the input. And that's pretty much all there is to it.